Yo, welcome everyone to Weird Growth, the podcast where we hear about the strange and often unpredictable journey that founders take. But the conversation doesn't stop here. If you want to stay one step ahead and unlock access to exclusive insights, thought-provoking summaries of our latest episodes, and a curated collection of valuable resources from across the web, don't miss out on Ammo Marketing's monthly newsletter. Please subscribe to our newsletter through the link in the description. This episode, we are very privileged to have Erin Bell, founder and managing director of CoConnect, which is a workforce app for remote mining and site operations for communication, information, engagement, and safety. Welcome, Erin. Thank you so much for being on Weird Growth.
Thank you, Cam. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have you on. Can you please just introduce yourself and just let everyone know how you have come to do what you do?
Yeah, so my background is in HR, health and safety and emergency in FIFO mining. So that was the bulk of what I always did.
Wow.
And I did a bit of surface blasting to get some street cred. So I
Whoa, what?
Because I thought
Amazing.
I might as well blow the ground up if
That's
I'm going to
cool.
do something not technical. But yeah, so I guess from there, working across, I guess, a lot of your larger companies.
Yep.
And also, I guess, as part of that, I've always been lumped with IT projects and having to roll out IT projects.
Really?
Yes, it was just assumed I went to uni, so I should know all things IT. And I generally do love, tech I guess I'm a bit of a productivity efficiency enthusiast. So I like what efficiency and productivity it does. So I guess from there, it was just really seeing a lot of things being, not particularly great or not really working ever in a mining environment. In fact, it wouldn't even load because the comms were so low, or it wasn't built for the technical capability out there. So, basically from there, thought surely it can't be that hard to make an app. And it was like there was a voiceover saying, and it was.
Surely it can't be that hard.
I know.
Little did she know.
I know. I almost don't know if I would have done it if I knew how hard it was. But,
Yeah.
we're already in the woods, so you can only go out.
Yep.
So that was where we started to build, an app in being one solution for all the problems in one, because rolling out software is very time consuming for a site. So I thought if you roll out one thing to fix all the problems instead of multiple things,
Yep.
more efficient.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that was kind of where we've come from there. And then we did a rebrand to CoConnect from Camp Connect, after realising that people are pigeonholing us into being facilities software.
Yep.
So yes, that's where we started to move, and also getting a lot of interest from other industries as well.
Well done. Well, Congratulations on what you've built. It's
Thank you.
It's really, really cool. And yeah, we'd love to get stuck into some of the nuts and bolts of what you've done with CoConnect and the rebrand and things like that. I think it's, from a marketing point of view, it's fascinating. But before we do, I have a quick pop quiz for you.
Yes.
Which is, if you were to start from scratch today, like a new project or business right now, what would it be and who would you be helping if you were to just do something completely different for a day?
I actually had a different business before this one. I
You
put
did?
on hold to work on this. Yes, I created hilariously, I actually first created it when I was 20 because I'm very good at sewing and soldering.
So last year.
Yeah, I know. Yes, so that was a backless push-up bra that doesn't rely on adhesive that you can jump up and down, and I called it Boost Backless Bra. And then I had another product called Easy Additions, which was an easy way to modify an outfit to add supportive bra cups.
Incredible.
So that was my other thing.
Yeah.
That, yes, I took years and put on hold doing, and then just kept going, nah, really need to do this one day. And then, finally started doing it, getting samples made, and I went to Vietnam to get suppliers and all that stuff.
That sounds
Did
like
a pitch.
science fiction.
Yeah, started my pitch off in Mandarin because it was to Chinese investors. So I thought, well, might as well speak their language.
So good.
Yes. So anyway, but yes, put that on hold to work on this, thinking the app wouldn't take that long. And then here we are
Wouldn't
years
take
later.
that long. The narrator chimes in again, and it was.
Exactly.
Oh, that's amazing. So can you just give us a little bit of an overview about what the problem that you're solving with Camp Connect is?
Yeah, so I guess at our core, we solve the issue of workforce communication and
what is that problem?
I guess, yeah. So I guess the key issues that they have is that A lot of workforces are very large scale in complexity, and they're constantly changing. So that creates a logistical nightmare of people trying to remember where they're going. So we've got one concept of GIS navigation and mapping and finding where things are.
Right. Like physically on a site, I suppose.
Yeah. Or even if you think trying to find your room in a village, like the average time is sometimes 45 minutes to find your room walking around.
How big are these villages?
I mean, you've got around 1,000 people plus in some, but most of the numbers aren't in chronological order. And you often have duplicates of numbers and rooms and things that, things aren't usually built in a grid either. They're just
plonked in the desert.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So like just sort of like visualizing this for people who might not be familiar with FIFO and things.
Yes.
So there's these remote mine sites which, you know, jump on a plane for an hour or two out into the middle of the desert, and then you land, and then there's just stuff going on everywhere. Maybe it's their first time on site, and you've got to go and find your donga, basically.
Yeah. So you just think of all these shipping containers, and there's no street names or street signs. You've just got to go off a little map that you get given and figure out where it is.
Wow.
And then that relates, I guess, to a lot of other issues as well around that. So the other one is information availability, where people only usually remember 7 to 9 things in their short-term memory. So they do an induction and then are expected to remember everything that they've learnt day one, and then they never see it again. They're given policies to read and sign, and no one ever reads them. They pretend to read them, and then they sign them. And they've forgotten them all anyway. And
they're pretty important things, I would imagine, from a safety point of view and efficiency and things.
Exactly. So I guess what we do in that regard is we take data and we simplify it to make it easy to understand, and they're able to access it on hand all the time. So recently there's actually been a legislative change with that, saying that all employees, so workers, contractors, visitors, need to have access to the mine safety management system and be able to understand it and interpret it.
Makes sense.
So it is that much of an issue. It is now written in legislation.
Wow.
And there is a looming deadline of 31st of March to have it in place for. So,
wow.
So I guess that's one. But basically 90% of your workforce in mining don't have access to computers, or they don't have a log on, or it'll take maybe 20 minutes just to load their profile on a computer if they do get on one. So that expectation around that is a bit hard. And then the same with communications. So all comms are just verbal, and it often relies on a supervisor to read them out in the morning. But again, that memory part, people always forget what's said. And I guess if we look at it at its core, most issues would say that come on site from regards to safety, productivity, efficiency, or people leaving the business usually stem down to lack of communication or incorrect interpretation of core information. So,
yep. 90% of problems probably comes down to lack of communication or the message not being sent but not necessarily received and understood.
Yeah. And then and then I guess from there we have the systems issue, which is around, like people have things that they're trying to solve, but then where you get down to that IT side is the fact that you're dealing with low comms environments that are often offline, high level, like 60% contractor workforce, and then rolling out software. If you're looking back at that curve of how long people take to adopt software, usually you've got a minimum of 3 months before someone even looks to take something on. So, and companies know this, or they wouldn't request for training or experience in certain software systems when they hire people.
Yeah.
But then, so I guess where that can fall down is if companies go to build an internally built version, or they buy something that's only used for their site, their contractors are probably not going to use it because
it's just another thing that they have to install.
Yeah, and they're only going to use it once. So I guess where we've gone, away from that is there's also that factor of a lot of software lacks personal motivation. So unless something's immediately beneficial for someone, they're probably not going to download it, which is why standalone comms software usually fails. Whereas I guess our approach for that is like a sneaking vegetables in your children's food approach, where we have all the things plus the things that they care about. So, they might not care about comms, but they do want to know how to get places because they're super lost, or they might need to know what time the flight is, or they might need to know, they might want a digital form for something because we have digital forms and things too. So I guess we have that. We work offline, we work in low comms, and we're very easy to use for all tech levels. So, and we can be used across site and across company. So if a contractor is working across multiple sites, they're highly likely to use it again, and they switch accounts like they would on an Outlook email, where they just switch based on where they are.
Makes perfect sense. How did you reach your very first customers, or at least sort of the pilot programs and things that you've run?
Yeah, so our pilot ones, it was, I guess, very difficult trying to get mining to do things.
Very slow moving and conservative kind of industry.
Yes, and I'd say 90% of people that say yes, only end up not rolling out, and like 10% end up rolling out, especially when you come to companies going into administration or care and maintenance or things.
Yeah, it's one of those industries that has these sort of cycles, so it makes sense. Yeah.
So our first one was with, it was actually, I spoke at a mental health in mining summit, and that was how I met a mine manager who was keen to do trials. So so we first piloted it at that company.
Yep.
They were going to take it out on all their sites, but then they went through a buyover merger. So then it got put into the, But apart from that, after that, that's where we started seeing more growth. After that, really, because I guess people are, they never want to be the first to do something in mining. It's kind of be the first to be second is kind of the approach.
The other thing that I've seen about in the resource sector, though, is that, if they're onto something that's really useful and, important to helping them with their operations, then they don't want their competitors to have it as well. So there's like this chicken and egg thing. Yes. Like they don't want to be the first, but they also don't want to be, have all their competitors use it as well. Yeah. Have you found that? Or is that more
it's more who else is using it. So that's usually they want to do what other people are doing because someone else has already. It's like there's other software programs where everyone just uses them because that's what everyone's experienced in and that's what everyone does. I think our biggest issue has probably been, I guess we explain it in such layman's terms in how it operates. We have sometimes IT teams that go, oh, we could build this ourselves. I guess it doesn't make any logical sense because we are quite low cost. So I guess one of those, the barrier we probably have is, I'd say mid-vendor process or something like that. We'll have an IT team that then decides they're going to try and build their own version.
Yep. And they haven't dealt with all of the problems that you've probably overcome, found and overcome.
No. So that's what's quite funny about that. But that's still not addressing the fact that we're yet to actually see someone build their own version that has said that they are building their own version.
Yeah, you've yet to see them do it.
Yes. So it's kind of like, I guess my original thing can't be that hard to build an app, or I guess they think internally and then they discover, and it is, and then it never happens. So it's been quite interesting. Now we've actually had two that did say that initially, have circled back and are now looking to roll.
Love that.
Ours out.
I've come crawling back.
I know. One actually said, he goes, I'll probably be back in 6 months. And he's like, and we're back. So
that's gold.
Yes.
When did you realise, hey, this is something serious, I'm onto something? And like, what was that sort of trigger point where you really realised that?
I think it was one of the companies I was working at. I guess it kind of really validated all of those key things of where there was consistent issues across every site. So I mean, from being on an island once where we were dealing with, it's coming into cyclone season, and I'm like, how do we communicate with everyone? They're like, you just ask each other, and I'm like, so
wow.
So I guess there was those, but I guess really looking out, I was actually trying to roll something out and couldn't find anything that actually did what I was looking for it to do. So I was on the plane on the way to work and just scoped something out.
Yep. Solved your own problem.
Yeah, pretty much, because I thought, there was nothing out there, and we also used to find that there was things that would claim to do all of the things, but then they would try to retrofit into mining or those environments, but then they were built for a city environment, not actually the environment they need to operate in, which is often why a lot of these things will fail. Like, as I said, some programs never even loaded while on site.
I'm curious, just from a technical point of view, say on an island, like there's not just Wi-Fi all over the island, right? Or a mobile sort of phone network.
No, and sometimes if it's quite an older site, so this particular site had Optus compared to the rest of the country that usually does Telstra.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess it also depends on the amount of, or how new their system is, but also how often it's upgraded. But if you think about, you've got suddenly 1,000 people pulling from one small tower.
Yeah.
So most sites, even around the 6:30 till 7:30 mark, you can't even download a PDF, or you can't even load an email because there's that much pull.
Because everyone's just knocked off and they're checking their socials and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And nothing loads pretty much.
So you're probably looking at just sending low bandwidth, small packet size messages and things.
Yeah. So
if you don't need to.
Yeah. So everything for ours is very, it operates on very low bandwidth because you've also got very old phones. that people use, or not tech savvies at all, to the point where I remember getting asked multiple times how to connect to Wi-Fi that auto-connected them. So that was quite interesting. But I guess with that, but then also we also tap into SMS and Wi-Fi as well. So say, because we send out emergency comms, the other part of that is that we will also send it as a text and a WhatsApp message to make sure that everyone receives it. But we go by mobile number as a login, and that's their unique identifier, because a lot of these people don't have email. They don't know how to access their email. They maybe have a family email.
Love it.
Goes to junk. So, and we're also a default. People don't opt in. It just integrates with the site systems, and they get sent their access. So we've made onboarding as easy as humanly possible for everyone.
Love it. SMS is one of those things which does have as close to 100% open rate as possible, I suppose. It's probably the most opened channel there is.
Especially like getting emergency comms as well, because not everyone might download an app. So we're like, well, they kind of still need to get an emergency comm, especially if there's a road that's flooded or something that's critical. And then we've also got our urgent duress piece. So originally, that's the one that's probably been a big award part for us, where, the thing that kills people the most in mining is non-work related medical fatality. That just doesn't get help.
Right.
So if you think of someone having a heart attack, anaphylaxis, choking, all of those little things that can just suddenly go wrong, bit by a snake. How do you... A lot of these people won't even add an emergency phone number to their phone. You think if you go to another country, how often do you add their local emergency number to your phone?
True.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So I guess but then no one downloads emergency apps because you don't plan on having an emergency.
No. Yeah.
So with, so I guess where our approach in that is the fact that if you hit urgent SOS, it'll notify everyone in a 200-metre radius and your emergency crew of your exact, and call the emergency number and send them your GPS coordinates so they can wayfind to where you are. So then it doesn't matter if you're unconscious or, can't talk, immobilised, whatever, someone will get to you that is close enough.
How good is that? Very cool. What did you do to grow it from that initial kind of like, okay, we're onto something now? What were your sort of steps around selling that and reaching more customers? Yeah,
so our key thing, I guess for us, we've been bootstrapped. So I looked at the stats for female founded funding and went, I've probably got better luck trying to just sell this and get growth that way. So, a big part has been around industry network, LinkedIn, talking at events, or just saying whatever I can talk at around my background, being, I guess, what I do.
From the HR.
And also around, I guess, even technology change management, because change management is something that people often don't do particularly well. So I guess really with that, we've also had a lot of people that have used it at other sites, moving to other sites and then referred it in because they found the benefit. So a lot of it's been organic with that side.
Love that, yeah.
We've done we did some Google ads, we've done some little ad things, but we probably had a lot of people from other industries, I'd say. But I'd say the biggest parts has been, I guess just talking at things, trade shows, and just trying to leverage our own network.
Expertise, but demonstrating that you are an expert in this field and you understand their challenges in their industry, and I've built something to help you with those challenges.
Yep.
That's super powerful.
Yeah, and then but then it's been interesting because we've spoken at things and we've had people from other industries kind of offended, like, why didn't you build this for our industry? These are our problems too.
Really?
So
wow.
They're like, well, we have these problems. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, we can retrofit it. So
so what other industries sort of would fit that bill?
Yeah, so that was mostly, say local government stuff, for example, because it's a similar risk profile where you've got people working everywhere. They're often in the community, which is probably even harder from a safety perspective.
True. So maybe rangers or people who are doing regional road work and things like that, is that?
Yeah, or like even people going and doing monitoring in certain areas, or even you could have like the rail, for example, because you can GPS map everything that works offline. It's a lot easier for someone to come in and actually go, okay, these are exactly where my work locations are. Whether they're out of comms or not, but even have that emergency piece as well. So, and digital forms, or we've got grievance reporting too, which a lot of other people don't have. So we have a lot of legislative compliance things, I'd probably say. That's really helping with our attention right now.
Yeah. And so you were called Camp Connect when you were founded, now Co-Connect.
Yes.
Is that part of the reason that you had that sort of rebrand? Can you talk me through what happened there?
Yeah, so originally we called it Camp Connect because from Sarah Blakely podcast, I learned that the I guess a name with a k noise is more likable and memorable.
Like Coca-Cola?
Yes, and Kodak, and that's why she
Right.
called Spanx Spanx, because she had to have a k noise.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So I just kept coming up with all the k names.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part was trying to think, how can I disguise a workout being personal use? So I was like, well, I'll call it Camp Connect to make it sound personal use.
Yeah, nice. So the users themselves kind of take a little bit more like ownership. This is for me, not just my work app, I suppose.
Oh, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's
nice.
about making them feel like it's for them and their benefit, as opposed to, the company just trying to push a software system on them.
Clever.
And then we tested it with some of the gents at the bar over the age of 50 to see how they went with it.
Yeah.
They all laughed about the name for ages and came up with every other iteration
Okay,
of what
I
it could
can
have
imagine.
been. But on the plus, 2 weeks later, they still remembered the name after hearing about it once. So
Good.
I thought, oh, well, this is clearly the name to have.
Yep.
But then we found we pigeonholed ourselves too much because people were thinking that we were just for facilities. We were like, no, we're actually all of the things. So even, I guess, we'd have from some, you should sell to facilities. We're like, as facilities in charge of your entire communication, health and safety and emergency systems? They're like, no, good point. So while we do have facilities things, you don't have to have it. So it could be local town, or it could just be your local workforce community as a whole. But I guess the positive, we did do a complete rebuild of the app as well. So it does allow us to go into those other industries, but it also is now completely white label customizable to look exactly like a company's own app.
Oh, brilliant. That's very cool. What was that process like, doing a full rebuild after you'd already built the first version?
I know. Well, I think it needed to happen, just so I guess it's like when you make that call of, it's like if you keep updating the software in a computer, or do you just buy a new computer?
Yeah,
It has more capabilities. So that was a big part of what we wanted to do, and just make it more sustainable moving forward. And we thought easier to do it now before we have mass customers onboarded. And we had the budget to do it. So
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and you had to be able to bake in all those new learnings and things into the next phase. You went through the Plus 8 Accelerator program a few years ago now.
Yep.
What can you tell me about that experience? What was that like?
Yeah, I think that was really good. I think it was really good for, trying to better define the problems that we solve, because I think in my part, I'm quite good at solving problems. Psychometrically testing, I actually can prove that I am good at problem solving.
Love, yeah. It's
but
good to have that awareness. Yeah.
I know, but then I guess articulating how we solve those problems in one hit, I think that was something that we struggled to really define. But I think that was really good to actually force us to
hone
look at
in
growth.
on your value prop.
Yeah, and I think for us it was, I guess, really just we were spending a lot of time winging it, trying to learn what we need to be doing, where it's good just to have someone that could have told you, or same with mentors and things like that. So, I mean, even having, even that realisation when we went through some challenges where you're thinking, oh, maybe I should just give up, it was good to even hear that other people have gone through a lot, probably worse, and still come out the other side. Or I guess for me, even being able to say, I had one really good mentor, Glenn, we just been able to ask exactly what system do you use for all of your back-end management of people and sales and stuff. So being able to actually know exactly what system that they use that's been effective for them instead of trialing a whole bunch of different systems. And
someone else has been there and done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as a sort of outside observer, I've been through an Accelerator program a long time ago in the past, and it definitely felt like that, being on the journey with someone else, who's going through that same experience, and being able to just share what that feels like and see that you're not alone is just such a sort of confidence building thing. And, you can keep going and you can persevere through the difficult ups and downs of being a founder. It's super powerful. And you see as well at the end of the Plus 8 program, everyone's encouraging. It's like a really tight-knit sports team.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. The group is amazing in that cohort that we're with too. Everyone just clicked really well. And it was actually, quite exciting to be going there or seeing how we could help each other. And we still talk now as well. So it's
really
quite
good,
good.
isn't it? Yeah. What could possibly be next for the future? What else are you looking at, over the next year?
Yeah, so we definitely that other industry expansion side. So that's quite exciting. Also music festivals and events.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's
Cool.
I guess it's that other one. It's, how do you manage complexity across mass workers, which is where we...
And a pretty very casual workforce, like just stands up for a few days and then packs down, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one we're about to move towards as well. But yeah, I guess especially with those other industry side, that's really where we're trying to be, I guess, a market leader in that, and also now starting to move international as well through one of our existing clients.
How exciting. So what would you say to other founders who have built a solution to a problem in an industry that they're sort of experts in and have the experience in, but then start identifying these opportunities in sort of adjacent verticals and things? What would you say to other founders on how to assess those opportunities and whether or not to take them up or whether to just swim in their own lane?
Yeah, I think I think you definitely probably want to prove it in your initial lane, but also be pre-planned for growth, so not making it probably as static as maybe what ours was.
Yeah, okay.
But I think as well around that, I would also say, where are you truly adding value? Because that's something I probably see the most with people that I've mentored. I don't know. I have lots of. I'd say I unofficially mentor a few different people.
Hey, once you've been there and done that, you've got every right to be able to share that wisdom. That's good.
So I'd say probably the biggest one that I see them struggle with is, I guess it's that concept of, if we build it, they will come. And I'm like, well, they won't. You really have to say how are you adding value and what is your immediate need for making them to download it, but also that awareness piece. So I guess something where we're quite different with our rollout, we do everything for our client. So we do the full rollout. We have templates for everything, project management, and we physically fly to site and make a big event out of it and tell them all about it.
So that's a white glove onboarding service.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so because otherwise, just putting a poster up or sending them some promo stuff and hoping for the best is not going to get anyone.
You're not going to have a good time.
No one will use it. So, but yeah, we make it more of a positive vibe. We do a quiz night and we tell everyone about it. We give them the chance to answer questions because it's that, I guess, what is the word for it? The vacuum concept, where if people have gaps, they will create their own
reality.
Ideas to fill those gaps, and you just and they will usually tell other people about what they think it is confidently. Okay. And then somehow you've ended up being something completely different.
So control that narrative and that journey for the client and their users, I suppose. Yeah. And then they're going to be a lot stickier, I suppose, with using the product.
Yeah, exactly. Because we've even had people that weren't told much about it, and then they've actually said, they're like, "Oh, this is amazing. Like, I didn't think it was anything like this from what other people had told us," but those people hadn't even downloaded it. They just looked at a poster and made up their own.
Coming back to the importance of communication.
Yep, exactly. So that's, stresses the importance of our app in being able to communicate.
Yeah. And just because you've said something to someone once, or you've kind of, put a poster up or whatever, doesn't mean that message has necessarily been received the way that you intended it when you sent it, right?
Exactly.
So I guess repetition, but also, people learn in different ways. People communicate, people might understand information as it's been told to them, or if it's been read or through experience. So I guess giving as many touch point or opportunities for them to have that communicated to them in different ways.
Exactly.
Really,
and then,
good.
And I guess my other part is always, I make things as easy as humanly possible for people to do it, to the point where they seem silly for not doing it, because you were given all these chances. So I guess that's my...
There's no excuses.
Yeah, that's my other approach that I try to go with. So
sounds like you know something about change management.
Yeah.
That's really good. Congratulations on the WA Innovator of the Year program that you were in. Really great achievement. And I think it's actually one of the best award programs probably in the country, in Australia.
Thank you.
So, yeah, really cool achievement. It's probably one of the most generous from an award point of view as well. What can you tell me about entering awards and things? Sometimes it seems like a big scary process for people.
Yeah, so I guess for us, we hadn't really applied for many things, and then last year we set a little bit of a goal to say, okay, we're just going to apply for speaking events and
awards programs
and awards programs. So we ended up with Innovator of the Year finalist. we were in 3 categories for the Health and Safety, WA Health and Safety Awards. So that was for risk management, emergency management, and innovation in health and safety. And we won innovation in health and safety.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then we were a finalist for WorkSafe, WA's best solution for health and safety risk.
Brilliant.
And what else did we get? We got Startup of the Year at West Tech Fest.
Yeah, that's right.
And
you did too.
we were also a finalist for the Australian Innovation Competition. And what else did we get?
What is it?
That was it.
What's important about entering awards programs? I mean, a lot of people probably think, it's not about me or my ego, and people don't want to sort of talk themselves up. But
yeah, so that's where I'm not that great. I'm good at talking other people up, just not myself.
Yeah.
With the power of AI, make me sound happier make me sound more great. But I guess as well with us, it was, we actually had some pretty good achievements with our SOS feature, and the 2 times someone activated it, someone got with that person within 1 minute and 3 minutes. So that's the ability to save their life, essentially.
So, yeah, well.
But yeah, so it's so important to enter them because it's essentially free PR and validation, especially if they relate to the government or large industry. So, like for us, I guess when they're announcing the finalists, you've got a lot of people, especially if it's your industry that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a really big banner of your company up there basically saying about what great thing that you've achieved. In front of all of these industry professionals that are now going to get brand awareness. So if there's ever anything to actually say, look, to all the people you were actually trying to target.
Yep. But it legitimizes and has that third-party approval, basically, endorsement of what you're doing.
Exactly, because they've already reviewed it and said, this is actually...
Yeah, this is that validation,
something.
as you say. And you can go out there and say whatever you want about yourself, but when you have another, respected organisation doing it for you is so much more powerful.
Exactly.
What's the process like? Is it difficult to enter these programs?
I think I kind of have a folder which is dedicated to similar questions and answers.
Okay.
So I think, so I kind of just have them all saved in one spot. So it's because I think once you do one, it's quite easy to then regurgitate your data and use it over again for a similar sounding question. So I'd probably say that's one of the key ones. If you're not good at talking yourself up, ask someone else to probably write it.
Great
for
idea.
you.
So there you go, everybody. If you've ever been a little bit too shy to toot your own hooter, then ask someone else to help, but enter those awards because all of your hard work should be recognised.
That's it. And I think another good one we had was we made it into, what was that, Apple's top 100 apps in business.
Wow.
Free apps in business. So we were number 87 at one point. So that was quite exciting. So yes, very pumped with that. But also I think that's the whole, I guess where we're very different. I don't know. I think I see apps sometimes where they're like, we get 100% of our uptake. And I'm like, no, you don't. But I would always go for that opposite effect of sending accesses as opposed to hoping someone opts in. So and I think that makes a big difference as well for uptake.
Very good.
Software.
What is one big piece of advice that you have for other founders looking to grow?
I would probably say, I guess a big one is one issue I've had is I try to persevere with things or people or contractors. Sometimes maybe I've done it for too long in trying to HR them.
Yes.
I think, cut it, identifying and cutting a cord earlier. I think that's probably a big one, but also I guess another big one is probably really getting involved from a community perspective. So I think, I guess it's very easy to get lost in time and lost in a little bubble.
Yep.
But I guess my approach has always been, how can I help others? Because if you help, I guess, I don't mind helping others anyway, but I feel the more inclined you are to help others, at least it broadens your network, and it also, it builds on that community to more effectively have other people doing the same thing. Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Because when you're a little startup with no money, you really need to rely on, how are you getting your presence out there, and how are you, it's like one of those things, saying yes to things more or going to those things that are more social to really be out there.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good advice. That's so smart, because you can't do it all alone. And being part of the community, particularly at an early stage, you have a lot of permission and leeway to ask for help.
Yeah.
And, if you're out there helping others, well, then reciprocal sort of help comes back. But if you're out there sort of just trying to sell and make money, then it's going to be actually a lot harder than if you've already earned that, I suppose, social capital and you're part of that community.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Something we like to do on Weird Growth is just like show and tell time, where we ask like what your favourite bit of software or app or toy or device is that makes your life better every day.
Yeah.
What's something that you can't live without that you want everyone to know about?
Well, hey, my favourite app is CoConnect. Let's
CoConnect, of course. Got to get the plug in. There's time for plugs later.
But no. There's I would probably say I do love Zoho.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yes.
As a CRM.
Yes, we use it for everything. So project management, CRM site. What else we use it for? People management. It does all the things.
Awesome.
So yes, that is probably definitely one.
Yep. Zoho has like marketing modules and so many different plugins and upgrades and things, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can do everything. I think and there's a lot of automation in it, so that's what's good. It's got a booking system, scheduling. So I would say getting onto that earlier and setting that up, that probably would have saved me a lot of time.
So how do you use it for booking and scheduling and things?
So people can book events on there. You can create forms, surveys.
Yep.
You can do...
So how do you use it? Do you use it as a back end to CoConnect or more for your sort of marketing and sales, selling it?
Yeah, for all of our stuff. So marketing and sales, we do. Yep. You can schedule all of your social media posts. You can schedule emails. We do it for sales outreach.
Awesome.
We have our email in there.
Yep.
We have... What else do we do? Yeah, surveys, which is part of our rollout deployment. And then we have our whole project management system completely automated with our... playbook of site rollouts. So it automatically sends emails, gets people added in, creates a drive function, so creates their drive of templated things and promotional material.
So good. It sounds awesome. I think you're not the first to have said that Zoho is there.
Oh yeah, I tell everyone to use Zoho.
It's really cool. Yeah, very cool. Now it's time for the final plug and ask.
Yep.
If someone out there's listening and is interested in finding out more about CoConnect or connecting with you, what should they do?
So they could reach out to us on, or they could follow us on LinkedIn or email us. Or our website is www.coconnectapp.com.
Yep. Yeah, brilliant.
Yep.
Or connect on LinkedIn maybe.
Yep. Oh yeah, LinkedIn.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll put the links in the show notes.
Thank you.
That was a great chat. It was really nice to hear someone who has come through a career and seen these big problems in the industry that they're working in, and taken the leap to fix them. It's a pretty big deal. Not enough people do it. It's super hard. And just seeing your journey over the past probably 3 years since you've been in +8, it's just been remarkable. So
thank you.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being on Weird Growth.
I was going to say, I'll probably say as well, your marketing segment too was also amazing. So many things that I did not know. So, especially with the tools and calculators and stuff. So no, that also, I should say that definitely also did help.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thanks, Erin. It's not why we do it. And we've got the sort of luxury, I suppose, as marketers, just to be able to hone in on one little slice of what is a massive undertaking when you're building a startup. So it's fun to be able to help. But not everyone can be a founder. So that's why I get to do the fun little lane that I'm in marketing.
Yeah.
So, well done. Well, thank you all as well for listening to Weird Growth. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube. Leave a review. I think Spotify has like a star feature now where you can leave a review. So, and if you're listening to this on audio, we are on video as well. So I encourage you to check us out on YouTube. But until next time, I'm Cam Sinclair at Ammo Marketing. This has been Weird Growth. Bye-bye.